Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Ali and Stevie are here in the studio. Alex Kirkland is joining us. Getting hot, Alex Kirkland. Used to the heat by now, Alex. How are you faring up?
Yeah, it's not too bad. The sun's going down here and it's a little bit cloudy, so it's actually, and there's a bit of a breeze as well. So it's not too bad, Kay.
Oh, not too bad at all.
There you go.
He's a trooper, isn't he?
That's right.
Okay, so we had a question like.
So hold on. In the show, we had Alexis, the Jamaican one, complaining about the heat, and that's why fans were not going to the stadium. And we have Alex Kirkland, who I'm not exactly sure where he's from, but he's not from Jamaica, and he's not complaining about the heat. Something's wrong here.
Yep. Our English rose, Alex Kirkland.
Yeah, look at him, blooming, blooming in the summer.
Alexis, we
Tasty.
we didn't get the chance to talk to Alexis, having grown up in Jamaica. She did say, though, she wouldn't be playing soccer at 3 p.m. local time. That's why she took up swimming instead, because, yes, she wasn't a big fan of the heat at that time, so she can complain, all right?
Stick it up for her,
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had a question like what came first, the chicken or the egg, yesterday. Do we have an answer to the question whether the Club World Cup is the end of the season's tournament or the start of the next one? So, Alex Kirkland, what's your take on this?
Do you know what? It depends who you ask. It depends which club. We've been hearing, for example, Manchester City. I saw our colleague Rob Dawson talking about this, very much viewing this as the start of the new season. And of course, that makes sense for them because, of course, City's season was a disappointment, I guess, and they want to kind of treat this as a new beginning. For Real Madrid, I'm not quite so sure. I feel like for Real Madrid, it's a new project under Xabi Alonso and new players and ideally a new style, but they're kind of trying to make up for what happened in the domestic season in terms of not winning a trophy. So I think maybe they sort of see it. I guess for clubs like that with a new coach, new players, it's a new season. I think that probably makes the most sense to look at it like that.
Yeah, but they'll want to say it's the old season because at least they ended with a trophy.
For MLS teams, how about the middle of the season tournament? Middle of the season tournament. And some of the teams, of course, from South America as well. Middle of the season tournament.
Yeah. Difficult. Okay. Alex, who's leaving Real Madrid for the youngsters to take over? Arda and Mastantuono have to play to give Real something different.
Well, I think the key thing is what they're lacking and what those two players could potentially bring is a proper, a creative ball-playing midfielder in the middle of the park. We saw that in the first half against Al Hilal. It's something they missed all of last season because for all the qualities that someone like Fede Valverde has, who's a fantastic player, Tchouaméni as well, neither of them are that kind of player. And if that's your midfield too, they are lacking that for sure. We saw when Arda Güler came on at half-time against Al Hilal, he gives them a little bit of that. He does give them something different. Mastantuono, all the reports are that Xabi Alonso sees him as being ready to come straight into the team and play pretty much straight away when he arrives in August when he turns 18. So those are two potential options there. But is there another option? Do they need another player? I think they probably do, because while those are both two really talented young players for the future, are they ready to come in right now and be the guy for Real Madrid in terms of central midfield creativity? I'm not sure that they are. So I think someone else potentially needs to come in as well. But there's no doubt that's what the team are lacking, no question.
Is that white car that just went behind Alex? Are they just doing donuts around Alex? Because when Alexi was talking, I think the same white car went behind him.
Aye, you're right, aye.
I'm just saying.
It was.
Where's our security?
Were you listening to anything Alex said?
I was concerned about his safety. I was concerned about his safety.
Maybe that's his bodyguard.
Is that it? Well, I don't know.
Alex who?
You need to be worried because he's just said that Xabi Alonso's got plans for Mastantuono, so you're going to have to learn how to say his name.
What? No, I'll be all right. He'll no play.
What I would say is, and I was listening to Alex, is a difference between Carlo Ancelotti and Xabi Alonso could very well be the fact that he's willing to play these younger guys right away. Whereas maybe that's the case. We don't know that for certain, but maybe that's the case. Whereas Ancelotti, he was, let's just say, hesitant to play these younger guys up until he felt like he had, or those players had earned his trust. We don't think that he actually got that from Arda Güler consistently enough, and that's why he didn't play nearly as much. We know for certain that a guy like Rodrigo, towards the end of the season, that trust seemed to have gone, and this is a guy who has played an important role for Real Madrid in the past, and he was sat on the bench. I'm just saying, maybe Xabi Alonso is more willing than Ancelotti was to play these younger guys.
Okay, European fans and players are giving the end of season excuse to explain themselves. But in comparison with South American clubs, which are mid-season, they already had in 2025 alone the same amount of matches as Europeans in the whole season. Are these excuses really valid, Stevie?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think you've got to look at all the teams on face value and look at what they've been doing, how much pressure they've been under, and you know, there are so many things that you have to look at. And so 100% I think that you have to say that a lot of these players just need a break. And if they need a break, then they're not going to be at their best.
No.
So, yeah, the excuses are valid, absolutely valid.
I'm not laughing at you, I'm just laughing at what does sound like donuts in the background.
I'm just telling you, they're driving circles around Alex.
Okay. PSG versus Inter Miami, Ale, in knockouts of the Club World Cup. Could we see a similar score that includes a touchdown and field goal like Bayern versus Auckland?
No, I don't think so. PSG may very well beat Inter Miami and maybe is a blowout, perhaps, but not to the point that it was Bayern Auckland City. I don't think it's that quite of a mismatch. However, PSG may just expose some of this chaos that Inter Miami has offensively and defensively, for that matter, with the quality of their possession, and they'll expose some of the frailties that Inter Miami has. But if Inter Miami loses to PSG, there's nobody saying, oh, I didn't see this one coming. Yeah. That is to be expected. I think in the eyes of Inter Miami and in the eyes of Major League Soccer, what you want is to be competitive. What you want is to be a team that feels like at the very least they belong on the same field as a team like PSG, and you want to hang in there for as long as possible, and maybe you make it interesting. That's what you're trying to do. Anything else other than that, you'll take that as a major win and a major bonus.
This is the last question, but it was a perfect question for Alex Kirkland, who we have here tonight, who for a living covers Real Madrid for us here at ESPN FC, but is an Arsenal fan. And so with that being said, Alex, which of these two managers is under more pressure to win next season, Arteta or Xabi Alonso? And who is more likely to win silverware?
Oh, that's a really good question. The second question is even better than the first. In terms of the most pressure, I mean, look, the most pressure is always at Real Madrid because the demands are so high, but I do feel like given the relative stages they're at in their projects, it's now or never for Mikel Arteta, isn't it? He's been at Arsenal for a long time. He's made huge changes. He's transformed the team. They're, totally different side to what they were when he took over. But the next step is winning a trophy. And like I say, it feels like this coming season for Arteta, he has to win a trophy. That he has to at Arsenal. Xabi Alonso, even though the demands at Real Madrid are so high, I think you can probably make an argument in season one that this is a new team, this is the start of something, and even if Alonso didn't win a trophy in his debut season at Real Madrid, I think he's still there come the following season. With Arteta, I think I've probably got my doubts if Arteta doesn't win a trophy at Arsenal again. In terms of who's more likely, I think Real Madrid, to be honest. I think Real Madrid, whether we're talking about La Liga or the Champions League or the Copa del Rey, but a major trophy in his first season, I think is absolutely doable, even though we're talking about the team being in its very embryonic stages right now. Arsenal, it's so hard to say because the competition they face in the Premier League in particular, we saw how close they got in the Champions League this season as well, but couldn't take that final step. I'd say in terms of who's more likely to win a trophy, I think Real Madrid.
You know what we just saw there? Besides another car. The metamorphosis.
A great Tesla.
The metamorphosis of Alex between fan and reporter analyst, right? The analysis on Real Madrid, objective. The one for Arsenal is coming from the heart. It's coming from the soul. It's like, it's time for us to win something. But I don't know if we're going to win something. But Arteta has to win something. But I don't know if it's happening. The pressure is always on Real Madrid, and the more likely team to win something is actually also Real Madrid.
Was the change car an omen Maybe while he was answering that.
Yeah, I think so.
In the middle of the car park.
Yeah, absolutely he is.
Yeah, pretty much. He's been at Real Madrid's training session.
That's a good idea, Alex.
And we've made him
That's a
stand
great
out there in the
idea.
heat. At least it's a little bit cool. I do just want to come to you quickly because when you saw that question, you went, that's a good one, isn't it?
Well, there's so many different things. I mean, if Xavi wins the Copa del Rey and Arteta wins the Carabao Cup, do they both stay or do they both still go? I mean, I can't. If Xavi wins nothing next year, is Alex saying that he could still be in a job?
Alex?
I mean, it seems unlikely at Real Madrid.
Yeah, I think so. Yes, I think given it's him, I think you get one more year.
It doesn't sound Perez like that, does it? You bring in a guy, you get rid of Ancelotti.
It was a great player for you, though.
It doesn't. Let me tell you, regardless of what you do as a player, when you become the coach or the manager and you're getting beat and you're not winning, that whole player thing sort of disappears into the background because it loses its charm after a while when you're the coach.
Is this the background? This is the background.
That's the old thanks for coming, see you later.
Okay.
That doesn't count.
All right, that's the background. All right.
You were a great player, great, but you know what? Doesn't count anymore because now you're the coach and you've won nothing.
All right.
I find it hard to believe that if Xabi Alonso wins nothing, he'd still have a job.
I find it hard to believe that we couldn't find a better shot for Alex and actually put him in danger where he could get run over.
Well, he didn't. And we did see a few cars, but no more cars are passing right now. So with that, we will say goodbye. Thank you so much for staying with us, Alex, to answer those questions. And
Courageous reporting today.
Risking it
His
all.
body on the line, isn't he?
On Extra Time. That's just Alex Kirkland for you. Thanks for being with us.